faster than the wind, quicker than the blink of an eye. Once upon a time, in the heart of a green, peaceful forest, where the tall trees stretched their arms into the sky and the birds sang lullabies from their branches, lived a hare named Harry. Harry was no ordinary hare. He could run faster than the wind, leap higher than the tallest grass, and dash across the forest floor so quickly that even his shadow couldn't keep up. His strong legs were made for speed, and his big ears twitched with excitement every time he heard the word race. But Harry had a little problem. He loved to brag. Each morning, just as the sun rose and sprinkled golden light through the trees, Harry would hop to the middle of the forest clearing, head puff out his chest, shake his fluffy tail, and shout loud enough for all the animals to hear. "Good morning, my slow little friends. Are you ready to watch greatness? Step aside. The fastest animal in the land is about to do his morning stretch." And off he would go, boing, leaping over rocks and logs, spinning through the bushes and running in circles just to show off. The birds in the trees would shake their heads. The badgers would roll over and groan, and the squirrels would giggle, hiding behind branches. But Harry didn't care. He loved the attention. "I bet I could beat a breeze in a race," he'd laugh. Even lightning would need to catch its breath. Harry spent most of his days racing imaginary opponents, racing clouds, butterflies, even his own shadow. And every time he declared himself the champion of the forest. No one ever challenged him. Not because they were scared, but because, well, what was the point? Everyone knew Harry was the fastest. But speed, as they would soon learn, wasn't everything. And while Harry showed off his speed, there was someone nearby who never rushed, never bragged, and never missed a single sunrise. A quiet tortoise, watching from the shadows of the trees. His name was Tommy, and this story was about to become his too. Tommy lived in a cozy little burrow under an old oak tree. He wasn't flashy. He didn't brag. He simply loved the forest, the rustling trees, the cool breeze, and the gentle path that wound between the roots. He walked slowly, yes, but he noticed things that Harry never did, like the tiny purple flowers blooming near the rocks, or the hummingbirds sipping nectar in silence. He believed in patience. He believed in doing your best. And most of all, he believed that kindness was stronger than pride. One sunny morning, Harry leapt onto a log and shouted, "Who dares to race the fastest animal in the world?" The forest fell quiet. The birds paused their singing. Even the squirrels stopped chasing each other. Then came a soft voice from the back. "I will." Every animal turned. It was Tommy. Harry blinked. You want to race me?" "Yes," said Tommy gently. "Let's have a fair race. No shortcuts, just the trail." Laughter rippled through the trees. Harry grinned. "You're on, old shell. This will be the easiest win of my life." The news of the race spread like wildfire. Animals from every corner of the forest came to watch. The owls brought binoculars. The raccoons set up snacks. Even the shy deer tiptoed from the meadow to see the spectacle. Fiona the fox, smart and wise, stood at the starting line. She raised her paw and called out, "On your marks, get set, go." Harry shot off like a thunderbolt, kicking up leaves and laughter. Tommy took one slow, steady step forward. Halfway through the race, Harry looked back. Tommy was barely past the first turn. Harry laughed. At this rate, I could take a nap and still win. So he did. He found a soft patch of grass under a tree, yawned, curled up, and drifted off to sleep with a smug smile on his face. Meanwhile, Tommy kept walking. Slowly, steadily, peacefully. He didn't worry. He didn't rush. He just kept moving. The forest grew quiet as the sun slid across the sky. The breeze picked up. Shadows stretched. Tommy passed the sleeping hare. He didn't stop, not even for a sip of water. He climbed over roots. He waddled through puddles. One step at a time. Some animals watched in silence. Others whispered, "Maybe he'll make it." But Tommy didn't listen to the crowd. He just followed the path. And his heart. Hours later, Harry's ears twitched. He yawned and sat up. Time to win this silly race. He stretched, shook off the nap, and raced down the trail, lightning fast. But as he turned the last corner, his eyes widened. Just ahead, walking with quiet strength, was Tommy. One step away from the finish line. Harry flew forward, but it was too late. Tommy crossed the line. Sometimes the quietest step makes the loudest echo. The clearing near the finish line was alive with noise. From the trees above, birds chirped excitedly, flapping their wings like little fans. Monkeys swung from branch to branch, chattering and pointing. Even the usually shy hedgehogs peeked out from behind mushrooms, wide-eyed and amazed. They had seen something they never thought possible. Tommy the tortoise had won the race. He had walked, slowly, patiently, one step at a time, and now he stood just past the finish line, blinking softly beneath the fading sunlight. He had done it. Fiona the fox, standing tall with her red fur glowing in the golden hour light, stepped forward with a proud smile. She raised Tommy's front leg gently and announced in a clear voice, "The winner of the Great Forest Race is Tommy the Tortoise." The crowd burst into cheers. The parrots squawked with joy. The squirrels threw bits of acorns in the air like confetti. The frogs croaked a celebratory rhythm from the lily pond nearby. Even the wind seemed to whisper through the trees, "Slow and steady, slow and steady." Just moments later, a blur of brown fur tumbled over the last bend. Harry the hare, panting hard, his ears drooping and his heart pounding. He stopped at the finish line, frozen in disbelief. His eyes landed on Tommy, calm, steady, not even out of breath. The forest quieted as everyone turned to Harry. He looked around, his chest rising and falling. Then slowly he lowered his head. I lost," he said softly. The proud hare, who once boasted that no one could catch him, now stood humbled before the slowest animal in the forest. "I was so sure I'd win I took a nap," he admitted. "I thought I didn't even need to try." The animals watched, curious and quiet. Then Tommy stepped forward. His shell glistened from the walk, and his gentle eyes looked up at Harry with no anger, just understanding. "You're fast, Harry," Tommy said with a warm smile. "But being the fastest doesn't always mean finishing first." Harry blinked. "How did you do it?" "I didn't stop," said Tommy. "One step at a time. I just kept going." There was a long pause. Then, clap. One small chipmunk began to clap. Then a raccoon. Then a bird. Then everyone. A forest full of cheers. Not just for Tommy's win, but for Harry's honesty and growth. From that day on, Harry didn't brag like before. He still ran, yes, he still loved to leap and race. But now, when he ran, he remembered the tortoise who didn't quit. And sometimes, when he finished his laps, head slow down. Just enough to walk beside his new friend. From that day on, things changed in the forest. Harry still ran, but he didn't brag. He even walked beside Tommy sometimes, learning to slow down and enjoy the journey. And Tommy? He became a little hero, not because he was the fastest, but because he was determined, patient, and kind. And every young animal in the forest learned a great lesson. Sparkles, it's not how fast you go, it's how steady you grow. Sparkles.